is using tear gas。
運動嘅結果係點樣？加油！
从2014年的雨伞运动。
3個男人同人爭執之後，俾人潑液體同埋點火燒傷。
到2019年的反修例示威，商业气息浓郁的香港，如今成为西方人眼中最后的民主圣地象征。
My home. I feel really hurt. I'm very sad over how our city has been turned upside down. There's been a lot of damage, and I've seen firsthand a lot of business owners have been forced to close because the protest has been going on for over a year.
香港的反修例抗争以和平开始，却以暴力结束。根据香港警方公开的数据。 2019年6月至2020年5月31号为止，警方在反修例运动中一共逮捕了8986人，包括1609名未成年者。而在近9000名被捕者中，有350人被捕2次以上，其中一名17岁的男性更在2019年11月至2020年5月间被捕了9次，涉嫌非法集结、藏有工具可作非法用途和阻碍道路等。 还有6人被捕4次，年龄介于12到57岁之间。截至今年5月为止，有1808人遭警方起诉，其中612人被控暴动罪。这些数字看在北京当局的眼中，无疑是视法律于无物的表现。
Since 2003, the people have continued to take to the streets to voice their dissatisfaction against what they see as Beijing's persistent interference into Hong Kong's affairs. The continuing protests and political unrest have convinced Beijing that the time has come for the new security law to be imposed in the city.
Especially after last year's social unrest and all the different terrorism happening everywhere in the world, I think it's only right that we have this piece of legislation in place in Hong Kong. But since we fail to legislate this ourselves, so I can see no other choice for Beijing to step in to take back that decision to do it themselves.
当各国正为了防疫自顾不暇时，北京忽然宣布出手。全国人大常委会在短短41天内急速通过了港区国安法，每项罪名均按严重性分级，刑罚从轻到重，包括了罚款、判监3年、5年至10年以及终身监禁。这彻底改变了原本吹拂在香港的风。
Meanwhile, sporadic protests have erupted again on the streets of Hong Kong over fears that China is tightening its grip over the city. But they have so far been met with strong police response. The day after the law came into effect, hundreds of protesters were arrested by Hong Kong police. At least 10 of them were nabbed for breaching the new security law. One of them, 23-year-old Tong Ying Kit, has been charged with inciting secession and terrorism under the new law. On July 1st, Tong drove his motorcycle into a group of police officers while carrying a flag calling for the liberation of the city.
唐英杰被警方依涉嫌煽动他人分裂国家罪及恐怖活动2罪立案起诉。从7月1号被捕至今，申请保释都遭到驳回。至于在7.1当天被捕的另外9个人，则获保释候审。
我哋係國安隊。
港警国安处于7月29日主动出击，拘捕已解散的前学生动员召集人钟汉林和其他4名成员。钟汉林在被扣查48小時後，於7月31號下午獲准保釋。
而家係未正式落案起訴嘅，而家暫時係每個月要報到1次，亦都係交出咗一個嘅旅遊證件，亦都係要求咗我去剷除某一啲嘅 Facebook 啊社交網站嘅發布嘅文章，會唔會去擔心到成為第一個因為國安法而入獄嘅 案件啦，我相信就係未來係好大機會有呢一個嘅風險嘅，但係自己本身已經做好咗一個心理準備。
港警國安處表示，鍾翰林等人涉嫌在國安法實施之後，在臉書成立創智獨立黨專業，主張不設底線抗爭，成立香港共和國。
佢話係要不設底線咁樣去爭取呢個香港獨立，呢個好明顯已經係一個分離國家嘅情況嚟㗎啦。一般我哋喺處理一啲普通法嘅情況之下呢，係唔需要證明佢究竟佢有冇煽動任何人做呢樣嘢，佢只要做出咗一種嘅行為呢，已經係一種煽惑嘅行為嚟㗎啦。
該法實施1個月至今，大規模示威活動消失了，看似穩定，卻難掩寒蟬效應。警方國安處已拘捕了21人，另外有6人遭到通緝，包括1名美國公民朱慕明。儘管港區國安法未提及追訴期，但香港法學專家仍有擔憂。
Immediately, I think they would probably target at a few people like Dennis Kwok or Joshua Wong. These you can't expect that they're going to arrest a large number of people, and they can't do it every day. But as time passes, the law could be expanded. The interpretation of the law could be changed.
For many young people in the city, they see democracy and freedom as the birthright of all mankind. But for China, the freedom that the people of Hong Kong now enjoy is never absolute. And it falls within its national interest to put an end to the political turmoil in the city and protect its sovereignty as well as national security from foreign forces. It remains unclear now how the crisis will unfold or how it will end. But what is certain is that it will be a continuous battle that will see very little hope for compromise.
I think perhaps Hong Kong has been too free in the past, that people want to say whatever they want to say. And I think basically perhaps we have gone too far in allowing people to talk about it. I just cannot imagine anybody would be foolish and stupid enough to actually think there is any future of Hong Kong independence. But given what happened last year, I'm not sure anymore. I mean, we do have a young generation, and you may call them naive or what, but then some actually think that Hong Kong can survive on its own, which I think is still ridiculous.
It is easy to blame the protesters, and it seems that what some of the people are saying, that and even the central government say that we are forced to act because the protesters has engaged in all these violence acts in the last 9 months. It is true that we should not condone those violent acts, but you have to ask the question, what forced those young people to resort to what they have done? There are far more serious and deep-root causes behind that. And if we do not address those issues, and a high-handed draconian law will never resolve the issues.